but I want to talk about this today, and I want to talk about the future of where Google's going. And could this be Google's could this be Google's saving grace? Is Google finally going to do something about their Pixel lineup? Are they going to give us what we want finally? I don't know. I have been since the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. That's how long I've been an Android person for. So this article from The Verge here says Google is reportedly building its own processor for Pixels and Chromebooks. Finally, I think a lot of people have been asking for this. I think a lot of people have been wondering, why has Google taken so long to do their own shit? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why. I'm sure they have their own reasons, but we've talked about this, or I've talked about it in like my little group tech chat, but we've talked about how Google bought out Motorola. And then I felt like that would have been prime. Motorola was killing it when they made the Moto X Pure. They had a great phone, and I thought Google was going to take that momentum when they bought them out and really steamroll the competition, but instead they just bought them out to like take their patents, and then they sold them to Lenovo. And now Motorola, I don't know what they're doing with their phones. It could be used in Pixels as early as next year, which I would love to see. So I'm guessing it's not going to be here for the Pixel 5, but maybe for the Pixel 6, which also makes me think about, are they going to just say screw the Pixel 5 this year? Are they going to say, let's just make something that will pass, and then for the Pixel 6 we'll kill it? If that's their reasoning, if that's their thinking behind it, I that's disappointing. It's a shame, because I think as a company, especially a billion, or I don't know if they're, no, Alphabet's a trillion, but $1 billion company or whatever, a big ass rich company is what I'm trying to say, a big rich ass company. I think they owe it to their customers, to their consumers, to put out a good phone every year, right? We a lot of people expect, a lot of people will go through that life cycle of every new phone that comes out, they'll buy it because they're loyal. And it sucks. I don't try to do loyalty to brands. I really don't. I don't think that's the way to stick it out in this landscape. You should really be looking out for what's good and what's the best deal. And I mean, I think that's a job for like a tech reviewer or an influencer, is to make sure that we help guide people to getting the right thing. The chip, apparently codenamed Whitechapel, may be an 8-core ARM processor built using Samsung 5 nanometer process, according to Axios. The processor could be optimized to run Google's machine learning technology, and may have a portion of the chip designated to improve Google's assistant's performance, according to the report. All great things, all great things, until we really see it perform. That's the real thing to put here. Right now, though, the main processor on the Pixels are made by Qualcomm. Switching to a custom processor that's designed by Google to optimally run Google software and services could improve the experience of using future Google hardware, much in the way Apple's A series chips are optimized to run iOS. Here's another point too to make, as far as Google making its own chip and Qualcomm. Qualcomm has dominated the Android market for a long time, a long time. Yes, there's Exynos out there, there's MediaTek, and then there's some other smaller name brands. But Google coming into the competition will help push Qualcomm to not only make better products, but maybe make something a little more competitive when it comes to price. A lot of people are saying the reason these phones are so expensive is because of the chipset. I can agree and disagree with that. I understand why prices would go up, but not to like this disgustingly, grossly huge margin of profit. I think that's way too much. But Google making their own chips, maybe it will force Qualcomm to say, well, now Google's in the game. We need to compete better. We need to compete better instead of incremental steps. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not right for me to say that Qualcomm's design year over year is just an incremental step, but it's not bad to have competition. Let's just put it that way. It's not bad to have other companies compete for our money, right? That increased competition is better for the consumer, instead of, again, like I've said this before, instead of like oligopolies like Comcast, or well, Time Warner got bought out, right? Spectrum or whatever, like controlling the entire market, so you're forced to all pay the same amount of money because you have no other option. That's what's happening with Qualcomm. I mean, it's the same kind of deal. So to have somebody come in and add competition, it's not a bad thing.